Hi, I'm Alec Davis from ResolveGB.com. Every difficult conversation needs a destination point. This is the focus and the heart of the conversation, but it's never as easy as it sounds to identify. The problem with not being clear about your issue is that you end up going down blind alleys and sometimes letting the other person off the hook. So, if you want a quick strategy to get the other person's buy-in to your difficult conversation, then keep watching. It's normal for tensions or concerns to build up before we decide to raise them with someone. We make excuses on their behalf, or we find ways to justify their behavior. We even say to ourselves that we'll wait until it's the right time to talk to them. So by the time we eventually get round to talking and having the difficult conversation, things have built up to such an extent that it's all out of proportion and we have a catalogue of issues to talk to them about. So raise one issue at a time. Don't be tempted to produce a long list of grievances at the start of your difficult conversation. Just stick to one issue. Because if you find in the middle of the conversation that the other person wants to discuss other issues with you, be firm and say you're happy to do so, but before you do, you want to reach a conclusion or outcome to this particular issue. So stick to one issue. The next thing you need to do is to visualize the end point, the destination. This strategy will help you articulate clearly the issue you want to talk about. So imagine yourself coming to the end of the conversation with the other person, and as you imagine this, ask yourself any of these following questions, whichever fits your situation best. So, what problem do I want solved? What question do I want answered? Or what outcome do I want to reach? Because once you can visualize the end point, then all you need to do is reverse engineer it into an outcome statement. So for example, let's say the problem I want solved is to make sure that there's always a supply of coffee, tea and fresh milk in the staff kitchen for everyone. Now fortunately, that's not a problem I've got in my office, but imagine it was. So when I come to the end of my conversation, I'm visualizing that I want to feel reassured that whenever I go to the staff kitchen, I can make myself a coffee or a tea at my leisure, and so can others. The next thing to think through is this: how has the other person contributed to this problem? The piece that's missing is the awkward bit. It's the piece that connects the problem with the person you're wanting to discuss it with. So to be clear about this, try asking yourself the following question: what do I think is contributing to this problem or this situation or even this dilemma? So if I'm to continue with the example I started earlier, I think my colleague is contributing to this problem because his team are the largest consumers of tea and coffee in this office. And I'm not sure what expectations they have about when, who and how they restock the kitchen or the supply is maintained. That's it. All you need to do is to combine the both, and there you have it, a perfectly articulate and coherent purpose to your conversation, which might go something like this. Tracy, I'd like to talk to you about how to maintain the supply of coffee, tea and fresh milk in the staff kitchen so that when I or others want to make ourselves a cup, we're not left disappointed and frustrated because the milk has run out. And I want to raise this with you because I think your team are the biggest consumers of tea and coffee on this floor, and I think they might be contributing to this problem. You okay to talk about that right now? So start with one issue at a time. Visualize the end point of your conversation and the desired outcome, and become curious about how the other person might be contributing to this problem. For more useful tips, tools and strategies, go to www.resolvegb.com.